A-League expansion is finally here. Hey guys, how's it going? My name's Lockie, this is Coachwood Football, and I'm joining you here today to talk about the recently announced A-League expansion, which has just been announced by the APL for a couple of years' time, and it is something that A-League fans talk about so much, and it is finally happening. And we're going to dive into the article released on the Keep Up website today and jump into some of the details and tell you my thoughts on it, and we'd love to hear your thoughts on it, of course, as well. So, first of all, the article reads here, some 4.5 years after the A-League last added new clubs, the timetable for 2 new rounds of expansion has been set, culminating, if all goes to plan, in a 16-club competition with teams in each of the A-Leagues by 2025-26, which isn't too far away. It goes on to read here, adding a men's team in Canberra, which we're very pleased to hear about, and a whole new club in Auckland have been identified as the preferred markets to be the first 2 additions, slated to enter the A-Leagues in 2024-25. So that's just around the corner. But the method for selecting the backers of the new clubs will be almost a complete reverse of the process that brought Macarthur FC and Western United. I'm a big fan of these selections. Canberra has for a long time been a location that people have been crying out for an A-League men's team. Of course, we've had the women's team there for so long now. It made sense. It was the logical decision to bring a men's team in there. And it seems to be, we'll read further on in the article, but it doesn't seem to be clear whether they are absolutely going to still be Canberra United or whether they're going to be, go under a different name, be a completely different organisation. But I think it makes sense. It'd be great if they just stay with the Canberra United theme. But Auckland, I'm really excited with Auckland too. That's one that gets brought up a lot, but I've always said that I don't think it'll happen for like quite some time. The idea of New Zealand derby is really, really exciting. And it makes sense when they go on to explain, Auckland has a population size of something like 1.7 million. And it would be really exciting just to have a different element in there, really sort of, and a good opportunity for New Zealand football as well to have another professional club in the setup there. Further down here in the article, Canberra and Auckland have been identified already as the 2 leading so-called underserved football markets across Australia and New Zealand. After probing 13 areas that could potentially host a new club, the other 11 judged not ready so far will be on a long list for teams 15 and 16, which APL bosses plan to introduce by 2025-26, which means the season after we're going to get another 2 teams. It's going to completely revolutionise the A-League. And not only that, it goes on to say here, later down in the article, that we're going to have a real home and away draw, 30 games, 30 rounds in the A-League competition, which is going to be fantastic. And it's going to be a real true draw, where each opposition team, you play them once home, once away. It's what we see in other competitions all around the world. It's what we see in the Premier League. And it's more games is better. I've always been of the stance that more games is going to be a beneficial thing in the A-League. The season just is simply too short. The off season is too long. It would just, the A-League being around more, just it being an active entity more in the calendar year, it would just be a great thing for Australian football and for the A-Leagues as a whole. It would provide more opportunities for fans to go to games. And with the added teams coming in, just the rivalries that will be created, more away days for existing fans as well. And I'm really curious to see, we're going to be speculating for sure in terms of not only the 2 new teams who will be joining the year after, teams 15 and 16, but they say here 11, there's 11 other areas that are in contention there. And, there's some names that people may be disappointed haven't been mentioned yet, whether that's Wollongong, potentially another Queensland team. There's plenty of areas that fans would love to see more teams. Tasmania as well. So there's a lot of speculation there in terms of who else is being involved in the discussions. But overall, this is a fantastic piece of news for A-League fans. A-League expansion is something that I think we desperately need. And of course, it was following up sort of on the exciting announcement the other week regarding the National Second Division. So hopefully all these things are building, an exciting foundation for Australian football over the next few years, just to continue to grow and for the fan base to continue to stay engaged with the league as well. Let me know what you guys think of this A-League expansion. Canberra and Auckland joining the league in just a couple years' time. Thanks guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.